I figured it was about time to have another shop episode. It's been about 6 months since the last one, and I want to give you guys a bit of an update on what I've bought since August, I think is when I did the last video. What I've bought since then, what kind of problems I'm facing now, the plans I have, what kind of cabinets and what benches I might need, what I can get rid of, what I need to keep, and just all this huge mess that seems to have accrued in the last couple of months from presents from friends and family. Let's get into it. So one of the first areas I think is worth talking about is this bench. This is my main workbench. It's the one that my old man made for me. It's just a couple of lumps of timber glued together. There's really nothing special going on here. It does fix to the wall with a hinge, but I've never folded it down because underneath I've got tons of crap that I need to get rid of. There's a lawnmower under there and I don't have a lawn anymore, so that needs to go. There's a few drawers. I think it's the cabinet. Nope, the cabinet somewhere else. That's got walkies. But this whole corner needs rethinking. At the moment I've got a few French cleats along the walls and I'm using it as like a rudimentary tool hanger. Really not ideal. But it's a place to keep some of the tools that I do need access to. So there are plans at some point to make a more useful tool wall of some description. I do keep all of some of my clamps here, my pipe clamps, for no other reason than this is where they fit. Down in the other corner, I'll show you in a minute, there's like a bigger stack of other clamps, but it'd be good if I had some unified space where all of my clamps existed. So there's going to be a project in the work at some point to make a clamp holder or clamp rack. I probably want to keep it in this corner, but at the moment this corner is just full of stuff. I do have, this new chop saw of mine. This is one of the biggest additions I've made since the last video, and it's frankly a surprising space hog. When you get this thing turned outwards, the back and forth kind of estate that this takes up is quite big. So whenever I'm not using this, I need to pack it away and push it to the back of the bench to try and get some space here. Or worst case, I'll have to pick it up and put it over on the other workbench to just get it out of the way. Now I do also have this, I don't know if you can see it in the shot, this stand for the chop saw. That thing was super useful for making the flower beds at the back, so I could mount this chop saw on the stand and make all the cuts outside when the weather was lovely. But I just don't need it in here, or if I did need it, that thing takes up a lot of space too, so I need to find somewhere to store it. Now I do have above me a like an attic storage. I could shove it up there, especially if I'm not using it that often. I think that's going to be the plan. Like, this is my only workbench, so I think this is what needs to stay for the time being until like everything else gets changed around it, and then this is probably something that gets swapped out at the end. But I definitely want to get a tool wall on the go. I definitely want to find a more specific place for all of my clamps. I want to clear up all of this stuff in the corner. So yeah, that's this corner kind of covered. This is the vacuum corner. At the moment I've got this wet dry vac all hooked up to one of those vortex things into 60 litre drum. The idea, the rest of this tube is what you'd plug into your tools. It sucks all the dust in. This cyclone does a really good job of letting all the heavy dust drop into the barrel, which is like 99% of the dust. And then the super duper fine stuff ends up in this main vacuum here. Now I really like this setup, but I feel like the vacuum is a bit too big for what I need it for. This does take up quite a lot of space in the middle of the shop, and I would like to be able to slot my table saw in here when I'm not using it, but I need to store it somewhere. Now, one project I am going to be doing at some point is like mounting these together, so I have like a portable vacuum unit that I can just drag around the shop and then plug it into tools as I need to. Which, from what I understand, that's like a normal progression for most shops. You'll have, you'll have just a small Hoover to start with, small vacuum, to start with. Then you'll probably go to some sort of vortex solution. And then when you get into like the big boy shops, that's when you start fitting pipes and whatnot onto the walls and having like a more dedicated unit in the corner of the shop to deal with all the dust. So I do want to mount these together to try and get more, to stack it vertically, because I care a lot more about the horizontal space that I can use. So if I can stack these vertically, then great. I also need to figure this piping out. There's like tons of extra pipe here that I just don't need. So at some point I need to cut all this up, but I'll probably do that at the same time that I make a standing unit for these on wheels, so I can wheel it around. And we're kind of back to this opening shot again. This wall of stuff has appeared out of nowhere, really. Originally I built this first cabinet to deal with all of my sanding equipment, so I've got my orbital sander mounted on the bottom, pad sander, and then just all of the sandpaper and discs. And I've also got like various like blocks that I'll use as sanding blocks to help me out. And then up here I've got a jig, a jig for cutting the sandpaper for the pad sander. This is like a slightly ingenious. I'm quite proud of this. You can swivel this thing around to get the right length of sandpaper, and then swivel it back around this way to get the right width. So you just run a Stanley blade along either this edge or that one when you measure it up, and it just gives you that perfect rectangle there to fit on the pad sander. Quite proud of this one. So I've got some jigs up here, and then I've got my sharpening station for which is upside down. Sharpening station for chisels and the planers, and then I've got a box up here for all my jig making capabilities, of which I've used none. So that was a bit of an impulse buy. I've got some ideas for jigs that I want to use, which I might make a video of coming up soon, maybe. So, and then in amongst all the rest, we have like all the glues, drill bits, measuring equipment, battery chargers, and a couple more jig pieces. A little station for like all the drills. Got like the router and jigsaw. It's all in here. So as I started buying more and more equipment, I made a few more cabinets for myself. But I'm starting to realize quite quickly that, you know, whenever I buy anything new, I'm slotting it on top, which I'm assuming everybody does. But I do need more kind of cabinet space, and I don't really have anywhere to put it. Like under the bench, it's all full of old rags, paint, some offcuts. You know, it's really not that well organized. And then we've got this this other workbench then, which is just hobbled together. There's two old cabinets, I think from an old desk, and then I've got this top, which is just chipboard from another old desk, and then there's two sheets of MDF on top to try and, you know, have a semi kind of replaceable surface. So this is really just bodged together, and I think this is going to be one of the first things I want to replace. I want to get rid of this for a more kind of solid workbench. Now, whether that takes the form of getting rid of this and this other one, I don't know. It's food for thought. But I want to get rid of that, add in a load of shelving for storage, so I can start putting a lot of these odds and ends into, you know, neat boxes and shelves and drawers, and then stack them all underneath. It's getting really bloody cold. It's distracting me. Ooh. Oh, and another thing that I've changed, that's going to be difficult to show because who wants to see it, but I've added new light strips in here. So instead of using those old fluorescent tubes, I'm now using LED strip lights. I don't know if they're actually using strips on the inside, but you get the idea. So those long LED things. I'll show you a video. So I've installed a handful of those around, so partly to try and get better video quality, and partly to just brighten up the shop. I found it really depressing to work in a shop that was yellow all the time. So I got these to try and get some more white light in here, and it's working really well. I'm happy with it. And they're quite cheap as well. So if anybody's looking for any decent kind of quick upgrades, I found lighting up the shop properly really helps with wanting to be in here. So little tip for you guys. So now we're kind of looking at the half of the shop that I really don't like. So when I bought this place, it came with all these, well, cabinets. I really just don't like these cabinets at all. I feel like I can better use the space by tearing all the cabinets out, freeing up all that wall space, maybe putting some cleats in there, put a tool wall up of some description, and then use that instead. You know, the cabinets are great for keeping dust off of your tools, but dust isn't a big issue in here. And speaking of workbenches, I've got this one that was already here when I came here. I'm using it as more wood storage than anything else. Not great, but I would rather strip all of this away, free up this half of the shop for me to potentially build larger wood storage, or remake a bench, I don't know, more cabinet space or something instead. But yeah, it's all kind of dead space for me at the moment. And one of the biggest problems I have with the shop right now is that I want to tear all this away, but with the whole virus thing shutting everything down, nothing's open, none of the tips are open, I can't put the stuff anywhere. So yeah, can't really start this until things start clearing up, so it's gonna keep bugging me for a while, I think. And this is the final corner. This is wood storage land, I guess. I've got an old pallet here from when I got my old desk in the house delivered. I need to tear that down at some point, get some nice pallet wood and do something with it. But along the bench, well, you've probably seen it in a few videos, I've just got stacks and stacks and stacks of wood. There's, you know, piles of maple over there, big chunk of walnut, load of pine, and I've still got one railway sleeper from doing the flower bed project. Really don't know what I'm going to be doing with that, and I'm pretty sure I've held on to that for like the last 6 months, so maybe I'll tear it down when I need to start building up the vacuum stack. In the corner then, I've got loads of just random bits of timber. I like that I've got some wood storage, but having all vertical means that most of this wood can't be stacked there because the ceiling's in the way. So what I think I'm going to be doing at some point is getting rid of all of this crap and then stacking up some shelving, and then I can store the wood on the shelves. I think that's going to be a better solution than storing it all vertically. And then it means it's a bit more accessible as well. I don't have to, you know, go rummaging through a big old stack of wood and then knocking some over, and then some of it falls to the bottom, never to be seen again. Good fun. There are some French cleats already on the wall on this side. And there are a couple of like French cleat hangers, I don't know what you call these things, that I can use to just chuck some tools at the top. So I think at some point I'm just gonna, you know, when I eventually get rid of those cabinets, I'm gonna use, probably take those French cleats, make a lot more of them, extend it all down to that half of the shop as well, start maybe hanging some more cabinets like from this side of the wall over here. And see how that works out for me. And that about does it for like a shop tour kind of episode, shop building update thing. I'm so good at naming things. The other half of this video, I wanted to do like a channel update, kind of give you an idea of like where I want the channel to go, what I'm expecting from it, and what I would like to get from you guys who are viewing this right now, hopefully. One of the biggest milestones that I'm trying to hit is to get the channel monetized. This venture is not exactly cheap, and you know, editing all the video and everything else does take a bit of time. It's enjoyable enough, but it's one of them things that if you're not, it's like a sunk cost thing. So I need to get to 1,000 subscribers. I need to get to 4,000 hours of viewed content. The easiest way for that to happen is for me to keep pumping videos, obviously, but for you guys to really engage with the videos, to let them, you know, to let the YouTube algorithm pick it all up and propagate it. This has happened recently with the flower bed video. I'll stick a link somewhere. I don't know where I'm supposed to be pointing. Where in the last kind of 4 weeks, well, sorry, when I first released it, it got something like 500 views because I put it on Reddit. But in the last 4 weeks, I suppose because it's the time of year for it, it's seen something like 2,500 organic views so far, and it just keeps going up by like 200 a day. So it's doing really well as a video, and I need a lot more of my videos to be doing that so that I can get to this kind of monetized step. So I still need, I'm on about 240 subscribers now, so I still need to get to 1,000 subscribers and then get the 4,000 hours of viewed content. So that's one part that I want to do. Next is just trying to figure out what types of videos I need to be doing. So far I've made a couple of videos like this where I just kind of free talk my way through it. But recently I pumped out maybe, is it 5, 6, 7? I don't know. So call it 5. I think I pumped out about 5 project videos where I specifically had a project in mind, sat down, did it, had a bit of a talk through with it. And those have seen more success than, you know, the other talking head videos. So if you enjoy this kind of video, just let me know and I'll do more of them. If you want to see more regular videos, let me know and I can do more videos like this, because they're quite easy to put together compared to the project videos where you've got to finish a whole project and edit something like 5 hours of footage down into 10 minutes. So that's a bit tricky. Forgot what else I wanted to talk about. And that's it. You know, thanks for watching the video. If you did like it, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Like I said, I want to get monetized at some point. So let's get all that the algorithm juiciness flowing. You know, or if you didn't like it, please tell me why down below, and I'll see what I can do about making better videos for everyone. But other than that, stay warm because it's bloody freezing. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.